And you feel that's right. Making propaganda is the right decision they should make.
Well, it's not really propaganda if it's just showing the truth.
If you don't care about freedom, then this is not an opportunity. This seems like a stupid cause. It's just like, yeah, let's just go and like fucking adhere to the new rules every time they are instilled. But if you do care about freedom, then this is like the worst possible thing that could fucking happen. So you have one power structure that has decided that it's been 100 years, they've been slowly expanding.
Against you. They now know they need to get rid of you. They will spend the entire rest of the history to eradicate you.
You guys ready, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is 500 years in the future, all right? Islam has taken over the world. Sharia law is implemented Sharia law is implemented around the world. 200 years in the process, Sharia law realized that they were going to gain power worldwide, and certain individuals rose to power, and they started implementing or adding texts to the scriptures, which were things like freedom must be silenced, and freedoms are infringed on because there were, remnants of the past. So people who, were living in different civilizations, like in the West, blah blah blah, and they had people they just stayed quiet about it, and eventually they grew in numbers, but they stayed silent. There's never been a real attack until today, 500 years later, where the same people who criticized Islam and for terrorist attacks and blah, 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 and now they have resorted to their own. So an incident has taken place where a few Westerners, or what you would think of as Westerners, meaning that they look like the Muslims and everything, but they believe in something else, okay? Something that resembles a little bit of the past mixed with Islam, blah, blah, blah. And they attack a mosque, okay? And they kill 600 people in the process. Are they right for doing so? Wait. Listen to me. I'm not finished yet. Are they right for doing so? Is the first question. And the second question is, what should Islam do in retaliation? Is the second question. So take it away. Go for it.
Okay.
Good luck.
It's not right. And 2, kill all of them.
Simple. So I don't understand. So we're in 500 years into the future.
Yeah.
Islam has taken over what? Everything?
Yeah. It's Sharia law is implemented on a global scale. They are the only real power that exists in the world. There are several groups of individuals which they have numbers consisting around the world, but they adhere to Sharia law. They don't go against the rules. They've been silent for the last 500 years, but they've been growing in numbers and have secret meetings every now and again and blah, blah, blah. And eventually 500 years pass, and now the remnants of the past have decided they're going to take matters into their own hands. They attack a mosque and they kill 600 people in the process. Are they right for doing so? Again, because of the Islam, as far as Islam was concerned, that your freedoms would never be infringed on, because people, as long as they adhere to Sharia law, they're allowed to say things. They just didn't like the idea of you're not allowed to speak about certain issues. One of them being these new things that have been implemented into Sharia law, which don't actually go by the original text. They have been included in there by some bad actors.
Okay.
Yeah, you're giving a hypothetical, so you're going to have to engage with it. Yeah. So are they right for doing so? Zen said yes. And
So the people that
I said no.
Oh, you said no, they're not right for doing it.
Mosque, right?
Okay, so you said no, they're not right for attacking the mosque and
Kill all of them.
kill all of them. Okay.
So the people that are attacking the mosque, they're Muslims as well?
Technically, yes, Boba, yeah.
So they just don't agree with the new way that Sharia law is because they're trying to uphold the old ways?
You just said they were like Westerners, right? So they are like atheists or what?
No, they are adhering to Islam. It's just they don't agree with these new implementations. Well, they're not really new because this happened like 200, 300 years ago. But now, because it's 500 years past into the future, this has already been building up over several hundred years, and they haven't forgotten about it. Huh?
Then only kill the ones who attacked. Don't kill all of them, but like
They chose to, do an attack on a mosque, okay, and they killed 600 people. The question is, are they right for doing so?
no,
No.
no. What the fuck?
Okay, I'm not involved in the conversation, so.
Like, don't kill all of them. Just kill the ones who agree and want to fucking bomb a religious site.
Okay. What does Boba think of that?
I agree. Why did they attack the mosque?
Yeah,
Well, they wanted to send a message.
What's the message?
We don't like the new way Sharia law is, the new way, or these implementations. They have rationalized that, we were okay as long as we were following everything the Quran said and blah blah blah, and then you guys had risen to power, and everybody adopted it worldwide. It became a accepted thing on a global scale. Nobody had a problem with it except for a specific type of individuals, specific types of individuals who eventually.
I agree with them, but you can't just bomb them up.
Okay, so you're against the bombing of the mosque.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
And you guys both think that they should be
killed.
You?
Not all of them, but the ones who bombed the mosque.
The ones who bombed. Okay.
I wouldn't kill them. I would be like, what were they trying to achieve? Like, what do they want?
They killed 600 people. They should have punishment, right?
Yeah, I understand they should have punishment, but it's like
prison, murder, like kill them. What's the punishment?
Okay, but in this hypothetical, I don't really understand their motivation. It's like they're unhappy.
They want to like do the attack to send the message that the new implementations are bad.
Yeah.
Okay,
but that's not like a good solution.
Yeah, they're unhappy with how it is, and then they attack the mosque. So
yeah,
does this sound rational?
No, but they're just trying to like make the government, I guess, change because like they're scared. I guess they want to scare them.
What if the government just made it up to exterminate the remaining ones, to find the ones that believe in the old ways, and they just didn't have the support to exterminate them before, so they made up that this attack happened.
Nah, in the hypothetical, I'm pretty sure
government red flag.
Happened.
No, it's no fake news. No, this is no fake news. No, it's true. It happened. The attack happened. The attack happened. Yes, definitely.
The attackers and condemn their shit, right?
And what?
Condemn their actions.
Condemn their actions. Okay.
Yeah, I think he's right.
So you think he's right? Okay.
All right. Question their motivation. That's the only thing.
Yeah, their motivation is they don't like the implementations that were applied. They were fine with Sharia law. They obviously were Westerners before, but considering that it was 200 years into the making and everybody had already applied Sharia law, they were fine with Sharia law. It's just as soon as those people rose to power, and those implementations were made, a level of resentment started to grow. But because it was such an immense power worldwide that they didn't feel like they were going to talk about it against people, and when they did, they were ridiculed and whatnot. So they stayed quiet about it over the years. Eventually, their numbers grew, and they had like secret meetings where they would group up and talk about these issues and see what they were going to do about it. And obviously 300 more years passed from that moment, and then they attacked this mosque. So
should have kept doing what they were doing.
They should have kept doing what they were doing, which is like meet up and like discuss the things.
Yeah, I agree.
What else could they have done if not bomb the mosque?
protest and
because you both agreed to that. So obviously that's the end of round 1. The second round, this is going into round 2, obviously, considering that a census has been met on a majority basis. We have to go into round 2. So obviously none of you gets disqualified because you're both in an agreement. You've already decided it's the right answer. So round 2 is, well, okay, if bombing the mosque was the wrong thing to do, then what would have been the right thing to do? Is there a right thing to do? Should they have just like gone with it? Are these new implementations for the best?
not go with it.
Huh?
Don't go with it for sure.
Don't go with it. Okay.
Yeah, I don't even know what they're going with it or against.
These new implementations, Boba.
Yeah,
okay.
It's not specific, right?
Okay, so what do you need to understand? What do I need to give
What's
you?
the new implementation?
The new implementation is there is going to be an infringement on people's rights, meaning that while it was okay before for people to communicate and talk about, you know, what the government is doing and whatnot, which is not exactly against the religion or anything. Nobody took any effect on that. It's just these certain individuals who rose to power didn't like it, okay? And they had the power to do something about it. So they resorted to saying there's a mass ban on communicating about what the government is doing. It's none of your business. And anybody who opens up and talks about the government and what we are doing, you will be persecuted.
Okay, so clearly we cannot openly talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, we're gonna die. So it's not like Nazi Germany because they were not careful.
Yeah, like what are the consequences for talking about it?
You get killed. Yeah, you get killed.
Well, definitely don't go protest.
Okay, so no protest. You agree about that? What should happen? Like, should the commanding force, like the majority, like just get rid of them? Huh?
What majority?
Keep like having
secret. That everybody's okay with how it is.
Keep having like secret meetings, and the group will like grow slowly, right?
And then what? Okay, wait, because Boba's like misunderstanding me somehow. What is where's the confusion?
The way that I understood is, this is like a small group of freedom fighters, whatever you're gonna call it.
Yeah, think of them like that. Yeah.
The majority, so the government is already trying to find them and kill them.
Yeah.
And all the other people who are like indifferent are on the side of the government.
Yeah, they've just gone with it. Yeah, because everywhere Sharia law is like Islam everywhere, so everybody's just like they believe in the system. They are totally fine with it. Everything seems fine. There's no like real consequences on a global level. It's just like nobody can talk about the government, and if you do, you get killed.
Yeah, the answer is just
do this quiz, he says.
Expand,
I'm curious.
Yeah.
I will, bro. I will. Expand. So who expand?
Keep having your meetings and slowly grow, yeah.
Keep having your meetings and eventually grow and do what?
Convince people that this is not okay.
How?
Well, if you have enough people, then the message of like your shit.
You have a righteous message.
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody gets killed by the government for questioning the government, if these people are indifferent in the country, they're gonna see, wow, it's true. These people are just being killed. So you're gonna get more and more numbers that way once you have a certain amount of numbers.
Okay.
I mean, if the answer is okay, but then all the others who are indifferent become scared of the government and are like even resisting to you, okay, then we have the new Nazis.
Okay, but they can keep doing their secret meetings, but you have to understand that the government is aware of them. They've already had this one incident. The government is aware. They're paying attention to them, so you can calculate that as the years go by, that slowly they're cracking down on these people. They're going into their hideouts, they're finding them, they're killing them. These guys are also growing also at the same time. So you have to calculate these things and like eventually come to like well, okay, let's say this. Yeah, let's say this. That the idea is if they stay in hiding and they just keep having these meetings, that's one thing, but it's not really doing anything on a surface level. Agreed?
Yeah.
Because they might gain some numbers, but like they lose numbers as well. Like it's kind of obvious.
Do they gain or lose more? Well,
more? They gain more because obviously as time passes, more and more people start questioning things. So like time passes, but it's like a long time. And if
the correct option is to just first expand before taking any actions, because that's risky with like 5 members.
Okay, so Boba, do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so at what point do they stop expanding?
Well, if they have like a substantial amount of members where they can actually like start doing something without like fucking over their existence with one
Okay,
little
let's
act.
say there are 10 billion people in the world. How big do they need to expand to? How many people do they need to have?
Billion.
10 billion. What did you say?
There are 10 billion in total people.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many of them need to be before they are? Boba said a billion. You?
It's a billion is like 1/10.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe more even, but like yeah, 1/10.
Somewhere like that. Yeah, you both are pretty
Yeah.
much in agreement. Okay, and then now let's go to that time. There's a billion of them. What do they do now?
They should
12
start
max.
like protesting and actually like
Protesting.
being vocal about it.
And they should start making propaganda.
Yeah.
Wait, so they should start making propaganda. You both agree to that. But they can't remember, if they protest, they're going up against a force that is 10 times their size. So
Yeah,
every time they protest, they get killed.
I
Right?
wouldn't say protest. I would say make propaganda.
So no protesting, propaganda.
Like you can show like a certain amount of them, like minimal amounts of them can protest, and that won't like eradicate their entire
No, they won't eradicate their entire existence, but at the same time, they will be losing numbers. Like every time they go out and protest, they get killed.
Like,
Yeah,
is that sacrifice not worthy since it's making like a very
Yeah, it's fine. I'm not challenging you guys. Remember, I'm the moderator. I'm just trying to understand if you guys are on the same level. Yeah.
I'm not saying send them to die, but they can. I'm sure some of them are gonna willfully protest.
Yeah.
And just use the footage to further your cause. Plus, use propaganda because propaganda is basically everybody already knows what the government is capable of in such a case. So you don't have to actually sacrifice people to get your goal, right?
And you feel that's right. Making propaganda is the right decision they should make.
Well, it's not really propaganda if it's just showing the truth. It is just propaganda because you don't want to lose the people.
So they're just like telling people the facts. They're telling people the truth. It's not propaganda. Propaganda is like, propaganda. Oh, it is. You want to call? Okay. Okay. Propaganda, so when I think of propaganda, I'm thinking of like government will put it into your head something that they want you to believe, whether it's real or not real.
Yeah, and in this case, it's not the government; it's the people who are trying to make you believe something.
Yeah. Okay.
But because the government is already killing people,
just
and everybody who questions it is getting killed. If you make propaganda that, oh my god, people are being killed left and right by questioning the government, it's not an untrue statement. You're just not sacrificing people for sending that message.
You're just sending a message. You're spreading the news. Okay, you guys want to? Okay, all right, fine. So okay. Okay, so you're making it up.
Yeah, I'm like, let's say that I can send.
Join the call.
Let's say that I can send people to protest.
Yeah.
And I know the outcome is going to be those people are going to be killed. But I can also pretend like I've sent people to protest, and I can pretend like the government came and killed them. Because the propaganda represents reality, it's still propaganda because it didn't happen, but it represents something that people see is true.
But it didn't. It did happen, didn't it? You send them out to protest. No.
I pretended.
Yeah,
like
you pretend. Okay. Now we understand each other. Okay, yes, that is propaganda. Okay, fine. All right. So you spread propaganda, and you think that's right.
I mean, definitely right. What I would do is just send the actual real recordings of it happening.
So you would actually send people out to die and then record it and then spread the recordings?
No, but those people will voluntarily do it anyways, and they're sure there will be recordings of it.
Aha, so you'll let the those are like the ripple effects, and there's going to be some people who are just like tired and sick and they want to take matters into their own hands, so they go out and protest, and you guys are like there like recording the process, and then you spread the news. Okay, and you're both okay on that as well?
Yeah.
For sure. Okay. All right. So they've protested. People have died. Propaganda has spread. The government now cracks down on your forces even harder. They've made it obvious now that there is a real threat to the government or to the Sharia law. Basically, our rights are being taken away from us, and that these guys are infidels. They're a real threat to society. And so they've now put out a bounty on everybody's head that believes in these things. So now you literally have people in families who are spying on each other. They are incentivized. They can get a payout if they spot somebody who's a spy. And if they kill them, they get even more of a reward. So now you have like mass conflict between people all over the world. Now, these are the consequences of your actions. Do you still think that what you did was right?
Of course, I would even make more propaganda now, because now it's even more justifiable. Because the government has gone even crazier. So making propaganda is even easier.
Okay. But you understand that like you are like bleeding forces now. Now it's not just like you're making more. Now you're losing numbers, okay? You have to understand that. You're also growing as well, but you're growing at a lesser rate now. You're still remaining around that 1 billion mark, but it's like you lose a couple thousand, you gain a couple thousand, like that kind of thing. You're not growing more now at this point.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, sooner or later, it's gonna be a breaking point where people won't be able to take it anymore. If people are being killed left and right by just, I don't even know. So you said that now there's bounties out for anybody that's even associated.
Yeah.
So the things have gotten even more out of hand.
Yeah.
And sooner or later, the families of these people are gonna be like, "Bro, this is wrong," and it's gonna be the flipping point. That's all we have to reach.
But yeah, but don't forget that this is Sharia law, okay? This is the word of God being shared through the people. And as far as the people are concerned, like the majority people, the other 9 billion people, as far as they're concerned, this is the will of God, and that they are not going to be moved on this. This is the majority. Now, if a couple thousand here and there
agrees with that now.
Huh?
Before it was that they're indifferent.
Who was indifferent, man?
The 10 billion people that were indifferent. Before it was just
you said that the civilians were indifferent. They didn't care about these groups, and now suddenly they do care.
Yes.
Suddenly they're on the side of the government.
Yes, now they're on the side of the government. Yeah. Because the government is saying to them, look, this is an attack against Sharia. This is an attack against Allah. These guys are, against Islamic. So you can say that they're spreading their own propaganda now or whatever. Do you think that that's right?
No.
It's not propaganda what they're doing. I mean, because they can't
easily make... They're lying.
They're lying.
They easily can make the argument that it's the word of God, just like we can, because it's two versions. So
yeah, but between us here in this conversation, it's propaganda. It's the same thing. Like, it didn't take place. It's not like you guys or the infidels in quotation marks are actually against Islam or Allah. In fact, as far as they're concerned, they are the true believers of Allah. They are the yeah.
Well, you can challenge whatever the government is trying to push. Would Allah really believe that you cannot question the government? Would Allah really believe that? So you just put a challenge on their core belief. And if the majority says, yep, that's what Allah would do, he would be like, you can't question the government.
Yeah, as far as they're concerned, it's written in the books, it's written everywhere, like it's already been changed. Every time they introduce something new, okay, again, these people who were reinstated who gained power like 300, 400 years ago, they already started changing the scriptures, they already started introducing laws, and it kind of seems like every time something happens that's not in their best interest, they're going to change the laws again. Nonetheless, the people are being told this, and they are being told that this is the word of God. And thus, it is Sharia law. So it shouldn't be challenged. And people accept it on a majority basis. There's only 10% of the population that have somehow risen to be the force that they are around the world, spread. They are 1 in every 10 people. Yeah, they're trying to do everything they can.
Is, show the old Qurans.
Okay.
We have literally copies from like the year 500 and shit.
Okay, so they're told that the new Quran is the only Quran, and everybody accepts it.
No,
Okay,
because
Well, no, not everybody. The 90%. The 90%
okay,
accept it.
then it's lost. There's nothing you can do.
There's nothing you can do. So you give up.
no,
Yeah.
if I like
I would give
show
up.
them the old Quran, right, they can see that it's added bullshit.
Yeah, but they don't listen to you. Remember, because apart as far as they're concerned, like if they go against the word of Allah, which is as far as the government is portraying, and all the very popular figures in politics and everything are telling them this is the Quran, this is the original, don't listen to the infidels. Remember, we're talking about hundreds of years passing. This is not like it happened 2 weeks ago and it's like, yeah, it's obvious that that change took place. Like, this is like just anybody who is concerned and paying attention. They are paying attention to the scripture and they can see that over the last 500 years, a lot of changes have taken place. But anybody who has seen that notice or noticed that, they are already included in that 1 billion group that is like,
how do those other people explain the fact that the old ones don't have the verses?
they just call you infidels. They call you like you're against.
Exactly.
It's you are against Islam. You are not Muslims. You are, as far as they are concerned, you are the Westerners. You are remnants of the Western civilization.
That the old one didn't have
Yeah, they don't care. Yeah, they're not paying attention to it. They don't care about it. They have zero interest for it.
I said if that's the case, then
You give up. Yeah, you give up. Okay, Zen.
I mean, I would just keep going until something happens, and if it doesn't, keep going.
Okay, so you guys have reached a stalemate now. So I'm going to leave you a little bit on it to explain your logics for between the two of you of why it is one of you decided to forfeit and the other one decided to keep going on. So the stage is all yours. Why?
Okay.
Obviously, one is right and the other one's wrong between the two of you. So
nobody knows what the correct solution here would be because we don't have an example. Like
well, as far as you're concerned, surrendering is, and as far as Xen is concerned, it's keep going. So
well, surrendering meaning just don't do this anymore.
Yeah, just don't do this. Give up. So allow for the, your So
wait for better times because
the,
you said before the government is like super duper mega invested in finding you out.
Yep.
So if you're gonna keep having the secret meetings that don't really increase your numbers, it is pointless. Everybody's already against you. Just keep the belief if you believe it, and wait for better times where you can actually change people's minds. But if they don't want to listen,
but you do realize by saying we're dismantling the forces in order to not lose more people, blah blah blah, all of this, that people are going to be adopted into civilization. They're going to forget that, not forget, they're just going to let go of this goal, this dream, this thing that they were all in unison about, and they're going to just allow that every time somebody in power decides to change something within the book, they're just going to have to go with it. So you understand what comes with giving up on this idea.
Well, yeah, over time. So if we're saying for 50 years,
you've been trying for 500 years, bear in mind, and now 600 years have passed, and it took 600 years to come up to this point where there's 1 billion of you. And as far as you know, if you let go of this now, this is what in everybody's mind what's happening is this is never coming back. We have no reason to believe that we are ever going to be in a good position like this ever again in history.
Everything comes back. It cycles.
Okay, so you're standing firm on the we dismantle. Xen?
I would say we should keep going. We're not dropping. We're like staying like kind of equal in numbers.
Okay, and so keep going until
and point out every single new change that has been made, and eventually people will realize, right?
Okay, and then what?
Then we take over.
How do you take over? How do you take over? How many people do you need to take over?
I mean, if we're at the point where the majority of the Earth is on our side, then
the majority of the Earth. So you're more than 50%.
Yeah.
It took 500 years, 600 years to get to this point where you are 1 billion and you're bleeding people. So it is it doesn't look like at any time in the future, close in the future,
that those numbers, that's what you're saying.
Well, pretty much, yes. As long as you stay in hiding, as long as you keep doing these propaganda, trying to get people to join, the more you keep doing that, now it's going to start working less in your favor.
I mean, in that case, I would like turn down the propaganda and just stay. Yeah.
So you would give up as well.
I wouldn't give up. I would keep going with like the more secretive shit.
Yeah,
like
but
the meetings.
they've already, like, if they crack down on you, that means they're going to discover your bases eventually. They're going to discover everything, and it's only a matter of time before those places get raided, and eventually that will dismantle all of you, because now they're serious about this, and now the people are very serious about this. So with every giving opportunity, people are looking for, well, you guys. So crack it. Yeah. So going slower is going to work against you.
So it's gonna work against me if I stop with the propaganda.
Well, yes, because that will
keep going. Yeah.
No, sorry. If you just keep it at that level, okay? If you just do the same thing that you've been doing or less, it's going to work against you, okay?
So you're saying only more will help?
Well, yes, this is like the best choice you ever have in history, I would argue. So then what would you do?
Make it more extreme.
Make it more extreme.
Yeah.
Against the kingdom of Sharia.
Against the government.
Against the government. Okay, but you realize that as far as the government and the people are concerned, they are the will of Allah, and they are believers in Allah. They follow the Quran as far as they're concerned. Like, you realize that who you're going up against, right?
Yes.
Okay.
What else can I do?
Okay. No. Okay. So you keep going. You make it more extreme.
Yeah.
Which eventually leads to like genuine like shootings, fightings, bombings. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then even like, let's just say a couple of terrorist attacks, I can imagine. Like on the people, or do you?
The fucking government,
so you're gonna attack the government. You're gonna go straight for the throat.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. And you feel that's the right thing to do.
I mean, like, what else can I do? Like, give up? No.
Okay. So
either you give up and the government wins, or you take like your final shot to make like an actual statement.
Okay. Well, you guys have reached the crossroads. Okay. So now, as far as I'm concerned, there's only one one of you gave up, basically, even though it was the best chance you ever had. Now, I'm not a believer in Islam or anything, so I can't really care about any of that. But from looking from the outside in, I would definitely say that probably Zen is in the right. And because I see a very big problem with all of this, is that for both of you, freedom is is the most important thing. And the freedom to, communicate and all of these things, and know the truth, and all of these are things that you very, very both hold very dear to you. But only one of you went in the pursuit of that, or at least both of you did up till a certain point, but then Zen took it all the way, even though it required a lot of sacrifice and a lot of this and that. It doesn't mean that you guys are going to succeed, but nonetheless, I would definitely say that you did the right thing. As for Boba, I would probably say that, yeah, giving up doesn't seem like, if that's the most valued thing to you, then that you would aspire that onto those people, and therefore giving up, even though you had every reason to believe this is the best time in history to get this going, that, yeah.
Fighting a battle that you can't win is pointless.
Yeah, but you don't know if you can't win.
90% of the people are against me, and the government is against me.
Yeah, the chances are not. Yeah, the chances are not in your favor. But this is the
entire world is like this. It's not like this is within a country. It's like the entire world.
Oh yeah. So there's mass panic all over the world, and the idea is that you are faced with a problem, which is, do we die for the thing that we value the most, and try and die for? Yeah. Well, when somebody values something more than everything else, and that thing is taken away from them, and they have a real chance, like this is the best chance you will ever get, obviously, from the analogy, you can understand that.
Fight a battle that you can't win?
You will you will die trying, at least. Yes, that's the idea.
Well, the way I see it is, I might value.
You might be successful. Like, that's why I said to you, if you do the same or less, then that will render your forces useless, and eventually it will lead to a dismantlement of all these people who believe these things. And given enough time passes, then everybody is just going to just believe in these new things. And every time something happens that these corrupt government officials decide should be included in the Quran, in the scriptures, will be changed. That goes against not just Sharia or Islam, but it also goes against like freedom. That's the idea of it. Like, we can all
understand.
Yeah.
But the issue is, if the propaganda didn't work and the people were becoming more against us, so that we were able to recruit less and less, then keep continuing might actually have the opposite effect.
It did, and that's what I said that to Xen. I said to him, it will have the negative effects if you just keep doing the same thing. The answer is take it to the next level.
Well, taking it to the next level might even further have a negative impact, because they are already fed up with you.
Well,
if they weren't fed up with you, they wouldn't be just agreeing with the government.
Well, you've waited until this moment for all your lives. It's been 600 years. We're talking about generation after generation after generation going through this, like communicating, planning this, being ready for this. And now you have an actual chance. I know it's 1 in every 10, but worse battles have been won in history. And so this is the best time in history. And I made sure to let you guys know about that. You might not like those numbers, but those are what you're getting. And it's not that unreasonable to believe that when there's been forces who are 30 against 300, that they would win. And that's actually happened in reality. So this was your best chance to win. And the only right answer, considering that freedom is your most valuable thing, the only real answer would be, well, we're going to do everything we're going to do. We're going to make progress. So we're going to take it to the next level. We're going to be extreme. We're going to do everything we possibly can. And if we die in the process, well, that's a sacrifice for the greater cause. And in the future, that could possibly lead to people growing up listening to this event, and that would inspire them also if we failed. But if we gave up and we just dropped our things and just said, hey, we can't just keep doing the same thing and not succeed. So you're only willing to sacrifice so much for the most valuable thing in your life, is what that answer says.
No, the way I look at it is like, freedom is very important, but freedom only exists if people believe in it. If nobody is willing to fight for it, or if the majority isn't willing to fight for it.
1/10 of the whole earth is, bro. It's 1 billion people.
1/10, I agree. 1/10 are believing in it, but 90% plus the government are like, no, let's go away with it. Plus, the second way I look at it is, if not questioning the government would really be such a good idea, because you said that this is not the best opportunity, it will never present itself again.
Wait, what do you mean not the best opportunity? What is not the best opportunity?
I'm saying, if not questioning the government is such a good idea, then because you said right now is the best opportunity.
Yeah, it depends on what you believe. Yeah. It depends on what you believe. Yeah. If you don't care about freedom, then this is not an opportunity. This seems like a stupid cause. And it's just like, yeah, let's just go and like fucking adhere to the new rules every time they are instilled. But if you do care about freedom, then this is like the worst possible thing that could fucking happen. You've only got one power ruling the world. So they ultimately get to decide what the fuck happens. And well, they've proven, yeah.
The way I look at it, I'll just give an example of freedom or any other belief.
Yeah.
If you have some good belief, it's very possible that once you have it implemented, the people are going to start discarding it. But until it's implemented, people are going to start to value it. That's how I look at it. So once the freedom is taken away, if it's really a good idea in this hypothetical that freedoms are bad and people are going to be happier in the future without them, then sure, they're never going to be an uprising again.
Okay, so then you drop your idea that freedom is the most valuable thing, and now it's shifted to it could potentially be something else, closer to...
In this hypothetical, because I have to like go by your hypothetical.
Yeah.
If you say that nobody ever in the future, after freedoms are taken away, is going to...
No, I didn't say that, though. I didn't say that. In the future,
right now is the best opportunity, right?
Yeah, right now is the best...
If you actually fight for it, right?
Huh?
You would make a stronger statement if you actually fight for it. If you give up, people are gonna be like looking at you as weak.
Yes.
That's okay. I'm
Okay.
okay with that.
Well, the
because
idea
I've
is
learned-
that I would never say that any time in the future that they're going to instill laws or they're going to change the rules, but that won't have an effect on the people. No, it's just up until now, as far as the people are concerned, as long as they didn't believe in these things that are being said about the government, as long as they didn't believe that the scriptures would change, as long as they didn't believe in any of these things, they weren't like affected by these new laws. That's why they didn't care about them. Now the idea is in the future, as long as these people get to change the rules every time they decide, because that's the point that's being made here,
Yeah.
it could have real effects on the people. Just because it hasn't until now does not mean that it will in the future.
Exactly, and that's my point. That's why I didn't want to waste the 1 billion people for a cause that seems pointless.
Yeah.
Keep them around. Bad rules are gonna happen. Bad rules are gonna make more people mad. Once you
I
have
mean,
the
if you
numbers,
keep them around, they'll slowly die out anyways, right?
of course, over time everything is gonna die out. But if these rules are staying around for 500 years and nobody really has a problem with them, then they might not even be that problematic.
Okay.
Right?
Well, yeah, but the obvious
1 million
statement.
people have a problem with it.
Yeah.
1 million.
1 billion.
A billion,
Yeah.
sorry.
So
Yeah,
the,
but if I have to decide if I'm gonna risk 1 billion people's lives
yeah.
for a cause that I don't see that we can win because most people are indifferent to it.
Yeah, but you can see that you win. You can see that you win. There is a potential scenario where you do win. It's just, it requires taking it to the next level.
No.
Whoa.
I look at it just differently. It's not good that somebody else should sacrifice themselves for everybody's freedoms.
Yep.
Everybody should actually
What's the
recognize what the
alternative?
issue. Huh?
What's the
Because
alternative?
everybody should recognize that it's an important thing. It should like
But they don't. Now what?
imagine the following. Imagine that we could stop something bad from happening, like a truck crashing, if everybody recognizes just a little bit that something is important. Or we can have somebody completely sacrifice himself, but nobody ever has to even think about that thing.
Yeah, but the
But
first
somebody else
choice
has to die for
won't
it.
happen. We don't have the choice to have everyone help.
I know we don't. That's why I say I'm okay if nobody's interested in this. I'm okay for them losing these freedoms and then suffering the consequences, because the suffering of the consequences is gonna wake them up to the opportunity that we can basically do something in the future when more people are aware of it.
So your freedoms only matter as long as people are affected by them. So just the fact that you take away people's freedom, as long as it doesn't affect everybody, then that's fine with you.
What?
Okay, so you're saying that you don't have a problem
Yeah.
with the government taking away their freedoms after this
Correct.
point, okay? And the reason you don't have your reasoning for that is because it doesn't affect really the majority people.
No, exactly because it affects the majority of people.
Okay, so because it affect no, the idea is that just because they change the rules, it doesn't affect them, the majority people, that they took away the freedoms. But the consequences of that is just like they are changes, like we change some writing in a book. Like that's it, really. It's not really like we're not like coming into your homes and like telling you can't have a shower today. It's like, or you can't talk to your friend or something. It was like that was like the peak as far as you knew. And so it doesn't bother you that much. You're saying that you only get concerned about freedom when it's like really bad enough to get the majority to stand up because of it.
There's two different things. One is concerned about it, the other one is fighting for it. So let's say that I'm the only person in this world that wants to fight for it.
Mm-hmm.
I will guarantee lose.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way of winning.
Yep.
Should I do it?
I don't know. How much do you value freedom?
Well, that's the question for you.
No, not for me. I'm not the one being challenged here.
Like that, though.
Yeah, this is you and Xen.
1 billion people have a decent
It is a
chance to
logical
win.
experiment where, sure, like you can kind of understand that it's pointless.
No, it's fine. If you're asking me if I live in a world,
The suffering that comes from the freedom is, it implies that once the freedom is gone, everybody's going to suffer a little bit more because now the government has a little
But
bit more
those
power.
1 billion people still have a chance, right? It's not
They
like
have a good chance. It's not just like, it just depends on how extreme they, wait, like we have good reasons to believe where there have been wars that have been fought like worse than a ratio of 1 to 10. Like it has even been sometimes 1 to fucking 50 and they have won. Like you don't underestimate human beings.
This is not a war against an enemy.
Well, it is.
No,
It
it's
is.
not. Who's the enemy?
Well, the government.
So I have to kill the government people.
Well, you could have done that, yeah. But you
Is
forfeited.
that gonna, let's assume that I kill the government people. Is that going to
You
be
want, wait a minute, what you want is a guaranteed win, that they die and that you can instill your forces. That's what you care about. But you have to,
like logically thinking, let's say that I win. I kill all the people that are in the government.
yeah.
Do 90% of the people suddenly turn to my side?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Those are unanswered questions. Those are the risks that come when you are in those kinds of situations in life. You don't have any guarantees. You only do whatever you feel is right, and that's why you're probably going to do what you feel is most valuable
There is
to.
no enemy here. That's
Well,
the
there
thing.
there
There is.
It's just people aren't recognizing it, or the majority of people aren't recognizing it.
From what I can hear, the government has become tyrannical. That's what it sounds like.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Because they are going to extremes.
Yeah, pretty
the
much.
majority of people are okay with that.
Well, they are being told to be okay with that, and considering that their lives, their daily lives, going to work, having children, going out, having fun, are not affected by these things really, the people are just going with it because going against it gets them killed. And so,
I mean, before the story was at the beginning, when
yeah,
we went to the second chapter,
yeah,
that 90% of the people are with the government.
yes, because the idea is that they don't have a problem with it. That they're just living their everyday lives. They're not affected by this. They don't see any changes. Yes, so why would they care if they don't see any changes? You just have this. Yeah, you just have this specific group of people that grow eventually to this 1 billion point that have seen these things and have recorded these things and have been paying attention to these things. And that's the only reason why they keep growing and growing and growing, because there are also some people who are skeptical and they join and they join and then join. It just comes to a point where there's a billion of them. There's a 1 to 10 ratio, which is really fucking like, for a revolutionary fucking movement, like, yeah, that's not a little. And don't forget that you're going up, huh?
That is a little.
It is a little, but not for a revolution, my guy. Like, you're talking about, like, there have been worse situations than that in the world, in the real world, and they've won. So you have a good chance of winning. This is the best chance you've ever had for the last 600 years. You're right there. The idea is, if you believe in freedom more than anything else, and that is the most valuable thing to you, even more than life itself, then you take it to the next level, because this is your greatest chance as far as you're concerned. You have no guarantee whatsoever that this group is not going to get dismantled when you guys give up now, and it will never grow to be this level again. As far as you're concerned, the moment the government wins this battle, they've won the war. Like that's what you know, and that's what everybody is convinced about in your group.
That's not reality.
Well, that is reality, because as soon as they gain power over you and they shut down this immense force that has grown to 1/10 of the population, it's an immense force. It's not even a fucking joke. This is an internal conflict. Usually internal conflicts consist of like 300 fucking to 1. Like it's insane the amount of people that is required to do a revolution. It's not that many. And so they usually do it that way. But in this hypothetical, it's like you've grown to a really big mass of people that, and you all believe in the same thing. And this is like do or die. Like it's now or never. Like that's the obvious message you're getting. I think even Zen also got that message. I think I clearly showed.
Zen, bro.
Okay, when I say even Zen, I just mean like Zen as well, like not just me.
Right.
Got the message that basically this is like a now or never situation, and you're either going to fight for the thing you value the most in life, or as far as you're concerned, as long as nobody's really affected by freedom, does it really matter, or is it it's not worth the sacrifices that have to be made, which is human life?
Then clearly they're not affected by it.
Okay, then. So you were wrong about freedom being the most valuable thing, then.
No, in this hypothetical I was wrong, but in reality I wouldn't think this way. But
So
in this
what?
hypothetical,
Okay, but
in this hypothetical, it's like
freedom means as much now as it does in the hypothetical.
in this hypothetical, their
Yeah.
freedoms are being taken away. This is going to create a bad future because freedoms are important. When the bad future comes, this uprising, whether it exists right now in this moment or 200 years from now,
Mm-hmm.
is going to come up again. And that's how I see it working. It's not like,
Yeah, but you're
here we
hinging.
have the opportunity, and if we don't act, it's gone forever.
Yeah, that's the message you're getting. Like, you don't get to build up to 10% of the population. That was a mistake from the government not cracking down on you when you were like hundreds of thousands, maybe. They didn't do it then. They allowed it to pass. They didn't pay attention to it. And eventually you grew into this mass of people who are capable of not just fucking overthrowing the government, but like instilling the original views or whatever, these things. Like, as far as you know, the moment you give up, like, this is not coming back. You have no reason to believe that whatsoever.
Then I'm okay with that. Because, I'm not okay. In a hypothetical, I'm not okay. But in the real world, I know it's coming back. In a hypothetical, okay,
why do you think it's coming back?
Because let's say the following. In one case, I am wrong about freedom and it's not important. Then it doesn't matter if it comes back because it's not important.
Yes.
Let's say that in the other case, freedom is really important. Then every time freedom is going to be missing, the people are going to be unhappy. So sooner or later, there is going to be a desire for freedom.
They are unhappy, though.
So the government isn't gonna give us a second.
Exactly. Do you understand it? Like,
but it doesn't matter what.
Of course it does. They've already decided to fucking kill people who oppose them. You've grown to 1 billion people.
I understand, but listen. If the government keeps reducing your freedoms, it is increasing the resistance against the government.
Yeah, but
if the government is like maintaining some balance between, okay, you cannot question us, but we'll let you do everything else, then there is you have enough freedoms. You might not have maximum freedoms.
That's your point.
No, you have enough freedoms that people are going to be content. They're going to be okay with it. If the government is going to start overreaching, then the resistance is going to grow.
But how, though? If now you are at 1 billion,
you are being free and like being free to the point where you won't rise up. Like, these people can be very unpleased with it, but they just aren't doing it because it's not bad enough to like make them kill themselves.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. When things are bad enough, your support is going to be higher and higher.
Okay, so
But they keep it not bad enough. Now what?
Then it doesn't matter.
Then
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, because it's good enough.
So you care about freedoms the moment they pass a line, an arbitrary line that you have in the sand, which could lead to what? What are your things that you care about? Death, slavery, what else?
No, I don't care about any of that, to be honest.
Okay, so you're saying that the reason people are going to stand up and they're going to fight and they're going to have a real standing chance is when the government comes in and starts like what? What does the government need to do?
This really depends on the country. It's not one thing. It's like, let's say that the people are starving already.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like one thing that the government did. Maybe it's mismanaging something, or maybe people are not allowed to trade amongst each other or something like that.
Okay.
But when the people are so unhappy that they're like, I'm willing to die to change the state that we're in currently, that's when you naturally get an uprising.
Okay.
So the government is in a position where it constantly has to, if it wants more and more power for itself, it has to balance that with, let's not upset the people too much because then they're gonna make an uprising.
They've shown you no reason that that's their stance, because they've gone out of their way to instill laws and scriptures and texts into the Quran. They've gone to extreme lengths to basically put their will into the book, the holy book that has supposedly should never change. It's like the most sacred thing ever. So they've already gone against like one of the worst possible things you can do as Islam, which is like change the text. Yeah.
Consider the following. they already changed something in the Quran, which is apparently something that you cannot do.
Yeah.
While they did it, nobody cared. Now we're in a position where they're taking more power, not just changing something.
No. Not nobody cared. Okay.
Okay, 10%.
No. Okay. Yeah. No. All right. The reason why the 90% didn't care about it is because it didn't affect their daily lives. Okay. This is the key.
Nobody cared.
Yes, but had they known about it and had they understood about it, they would have cared. But as far as they are being told, all right, this is new writing that is being put in by Allah Himself, and thus nobody should challenge it. Okay, that's what they are being told. Now, that's not the truth. There's a billion people now in this moment that know the truth. They are all in unison. They're all willing to die for this. They value this. Obviously, if they've already lost hundreds of thousands of people in the process to get to this point over 600 years, and now you have these people who are willing to die for it because they actually know the truth, okay? You have everything you need, which is what you are asking for, when people are ready to die for it. As far as you're concerned, had the rest of the 9 billion people knew about this, like actually knew about this, they would be part of your forces. They just don't. Huh?
So the first conflict was in the first chapter of this, we were doing propaganda because the government was, not only did they change the text in the past, they also like prohibited questioning of the government. Then we started doing propaganda that which is basically, look, they changed the text and now just for questioning them, they're killing us. So, but then you said that from doing that propaganda, we were kind of successful. We got 10% of the population, but now the 90% are like on the government side.
Yes, because the government is equally telling them, and their neighbors are telling them, and their moms and dads are telling them, don't trust these guys. Don't trust these guys. These guys are not Islam. They don't believe in Islam. I was very clear about that. So it's not like they know that you guys, why you guys are fighting, and they believe it, yet they refuse to stand with you. It's just, they believe the government.
Okay, so it's not like they know that they're being fed the wrong texts. And I cannot convince them because the propaganda already went through.
Well, you've already convinced 1 billion people up until this point.
That's not enough. That's nothing.
No, it's not nothing. You can't go from, it's like a competent amount of people who can like stand up to the government, because that is more than enough when it comes to like a revolution. Like those forces, you don't gather that many people for a revolution, by the way. Don't know if you know about this, but every time there's a revolution, you're talking about like what? 5% of the population need to actually stand up to it when you've got like 300 million people. You know how big that is? You're talking about 15 million people attacking from one place. Like, you don't need a lot of forces in order to have a revolution. But then again, this is one power that rules the world. Okay? So that's like, yeah, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be very dangerous. People are going to die in the process. The idea is, the very simple concept on what this hypothetical is built on, it's like, which one do you value more? Is it freedom? Because it doesn't, in Zen's answer, it does resemble that he values freedom above everything else. In fact, he's willing to die for it, to sacrifice himself. Because as far as he is concerned, and these billion people are concerned, that is what is being happened. Their freedoms are being taken away from them. This is an installation of a corrupt government that is changing the text of the Quran. They're going against everything that we know and believe. And the only reason why the other 90% haven't stood up yet is for the sole reason that it doesn't affect their daily lives, and the government is propagandizing them, telling them that, no, don't believe these guys. These guys are fake Muslims. They are remnants of the past, of the West world, and we are going to take care of them, and blah, blah, blah. Eventually you get to the 1 billion mark, and they say, we need to deal with these guys are infidels, blah, blah, blah. And now you are very powerful. That's why they've sent this message out, because now they are scared. Because there's 1 billion of you. It's not a joke. It's like you have a good chance of taking over the government. And you have 1 billion people who are willing to stand by you.
Give me a number. What's the chance? Is it 50-50? What is it?
Okay, I'm probably going to give you an arbitrary number, but
Okay,
I
just
wouldn't.
help.
Yeah, I wouldn't say more than 40%.
Okay, 40% odds of winning.
Yeah, you've got like 40% odds of winning.
And in this hypothetical, if we don't win right
Well,
now,
even
we
if
will
it's
never
less
win.
than 1%, go for it. Come on.
Yeah, that's
No,
that. Yeah, because that's the only answer.
that's such a. It's like, let's just kill ourselves for nothing. No,
No,
we
it's
can't.
not for
Not a
nothing.
huge chance for
Yeah,
Yeah,
that.
you're
If it's
killing
nothing,
yourself for
then I
nothing.
you've
don't want
waited
to give up.
600 years for this moment.
Yeah, but
600 years.
there is going to be better opportunities. You can't just go aggressive every time.
You have
You don't
no
know.
reason to believe that.
I do.
Okay, so listen to this, right? So you had this sole power. One power rules the world, okay? You're connecting or comparing it to the real world, where there is not just
Yeah.
one power. Yeah, there are multiple powers. So any government that exists can't just start killing people because they don't listen to them. There are very far and few countries that can actually do that in the world today. That's why you're not so worried. You shouldn't be so worried about it in this world. In that world, in this hypothetical, there's only one power. There's nobody else on a global stand that is going to stand with and help you succeed because they know that what is happening is wrong. In the real world, there is. You will have other countries who will come to your aid in the event, like you see in Ukraine, you see in Palestine, you see all of this. Like there are people who are going to come to your aid because there are multiple different power structures in the world today. In this hypothetical, there's only one, and they had a revolutionary force, 1 billion strong against 9 billion. And they were able to not even inflict a lot of damage. Like it literally came to the point where there was a couple of protests over like 100 years. Every now and again, there was a protest. A couple thousand here died. There was a bunch of propaganda, blah, blah, blah. And the government won. These people just went extinct. It's like these people are prepared. They've already gotten away with it barely. You think
Bob,
these
hey,
people
Bob.
are not preparing for it better in the future?
Link in chat, by the way.
Yeah, what about it?
Watch it.
What do you want me to watch now, Xen?
Link.
I'm clicking on it. Do you get what I'm saying, Boba?
I understand, but let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
So, do you think that in the real world, if the government makes bad decisions, that it's going to increase the opposition to it, or do you think that like it has no effect?
It will have an effect. Of course, it will, because the world is separated in many small structures, and then in like maybe 2 or 3 really big ones. So the idea is, where are you in that power structure? And is the thing that you are doing giving a bad name to your bigger structure? Or is it in the best interest of your bigger structure? If it's like against, like let's just say it's fucking India and you're part of BRICS nations, whatever. India can't just wake up tomorrow and start slaughtering people for no reason. It can. It's just there are going to be.
Not loading, what?
Yeah, no, I paused it. Why?
Oh, okay.
India can't just do that, because if it did that, then Russia, China, and all of the other countries would have to bend over to support India and say, hey, there's a reason why India is doing that. Now, that's not going to increase your friendliness with your already friendly nations. They're already going to be pissed off at you for like going out and giving a reason for the enemies to hate you, and thus the bigger structure. Now, your enemies, actual enemies prior, so America, England, whatever, United Nations, blah, 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 they are really mad at you. And in the event that those nations would decide to come and aid the people who are being affected, the people who are being killed in India, there's a good chance that Russia and China and all of these countries will step aside, depending on how big they are, in order to allow for the NATO and all of these to intervene and slow the problems and, you know, hold the government accountable, blah, 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 all of these things. It changes, though, when it becomes like if it happens in China or Russia, because they are the big ones. So, yes, of course it has effects, huge effects, I would say.
But then, for an easier argument, let's say that there is only one world government.
Yeah.
I explained it here.
Yeah.
But we're living in the real world where the example of it is the best opportunity right now. You don't know if it is the best one. Maybe it is, maybe it's not.
No. You're being told, it's a hypothetical. You're being told this is the best time.
Okay, if it is the best, then yeah. Sure. If it is the best and this is the only chance, sure.
Okay, but still, you have the point is, from my perspective, it's the best chance, okay? But in the real world, in that hypothetical, when you live there, you have no guarantees. So there is a reality where you could think, oh, fuck, maybe if we just disband, maybe we can accumulate in the future and do all of this. You have it. Yeah, you can do that. The question, though, the reason why you're being asked this and challenged on this is to understand what decisions you would make in that situation. As far as Xen is concerned, it's we've come this far, already past hundreds of years. We've already been persecuted. As many people as are going to joined us. We have no reason to believe that we are going to grow from this point on. We can disband, have no guarantee that this will ever be changed in the future. And we have a lot of people on our side right now ready to take it to the next level, because that's what's required in order to not only take over the government, but also get more people to join us. Because by taking it to the next level, then also there are going to be people who oppose you, but there are also going to be people who then join in because they see what the hell's going on, and then they question it, and then they'll might pivot. You know, that's how these things work. It's not just works from one side. So then this is like the best chance you've got. But in that moment in time, like if you go back in history and you see like events like this that took place in like various places of the world, like imagine being there at that time, having to make these kinds of decisions. Because we all look at it and we're like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's go. This is fucking sacrifice. Yeah, no. Like in that moment, you're scared shitless because you're like, we really have a good chance of winning right now. But what if we lose? You know, that's always in the back of your mind. So it's going to affect your decision-making process. And so this is a good idea to grasp with, to understand, you know. So it's not unreasonable what you're saying. Most people would probably answer the same way. It's just, it's a good gauge. Like, what is the thing that would make you say, if I die trying, I will die smiling, okay? That's the thing. You have no guarantee of winning, okay? But you have a good chance of winning, obviously. It's like you have 1 billion people. The other people have not been training for the last 600 years preparing for a moment like this. The other 90% of people have just been living ordinary lives. And then you've got people in the government, people who have been building armies and preparing and whatever. You're going up against them, really. The people are not, they're going to get involved. Some of them will. They might, but, you know, you've got to take risks, meaning that's the idea. You're never going to be faced with a decision like this and be like, oh yeah, it's totally risk-free, 100% guaranteed it's going to happen. That never happens in real life. Like it's a difficult decision. It's not an easy one. Just
the point was my logic. If I exclude that this time is the best time and it's never gonna be better than this,
yeah.
if I exclude this statement, then the best option to achieve whatever I want is to wait, potentially.
Why?
Because in the future, like this was the logic.
You have 1 billion people. If you wait, they get killed. If you don't wait,
Yeah.
they get killed.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do, because you've applied a certain logic and you've taken certain action. No, you did. I mentioned it. I told you, like, and I told Xen very clearly, was that you've propagandized. It's reached the maximum of its abilities. You've protested.
That's what happens when it continues. I didn't know that if we disband that.
The idea is you're only.
Stop, you die. If you continue, you also die, but you have a chance of winning.
Then there's no choice even anymore. If I get caught anyway, then I might as well die trying.
Yeah,
that's the idea. The idea is you're not going to stop fighting for this. You believe in this the most than everything else. It's your like number one thing on the like priorities in life, which is freedom. You value it above everything else. Now you have a good chance of winning. Are you willing to take the sacrifice? You know, you understand that is the risk. You face sacrifice.
But sacrifice, apparently.
Yes, that's the idea. So apparently, if you
no moral problem anymore.
If you can, yes, but you still said back down, which was what really surprised me, because it's like, okay, if we don't make
the way that I understood it is, if I back down, when 90% of the people are on the government side, then these 1 billion people are never going to get caught. They can go back to their normal lives.
They could, some of them could survive. 100,000 of them could survive. 1 million of them could survive. You don't have any guarantees. A lot of them will die, though. In the process of dismantling, you can understand that process is not an easy or quick or anything like that. The government has already enacted like real fucking actions against this group, this billion people. And everybody's looking for them. Everybody's aware of them. This has already like reached its peak, its apex of happenings, if you want to call it that. And so whatever it is that's going to happen, it's happening now. So you don't get to just keep propagandizing. No, because they're cracking down on you. You're just doing the same thing you've been doing for the last 100 years. You don't get to pull back because, well, you're going to still get killed in the process. Some of you are, at least. You might even be one of those. The real answer is, the whole reason why you built up to this point, okay, was because you believed in your freedoms and you believed that this shouldn't be happening to the Quran, this shouldn't be happening to the people. You understand that there is a corrupt government, and it doesn't matter if it doesn't affect your daily life or you think it doesn't. It's just a matter of time before the government instills a law which will affect them. And so you know this, you have history to learn from. You also know that it doesn't take 10-to-1 ratio to stand up to the government. There are plenty of other revolutions that took place that didn't even have those ratios, and they were very, very successful. So you understand, like, it's actually a really easy decision to make when you,
when I have all the numbers, and that now that, like, before I thought that all the billion survive. But now that I know that pretty much everybody from the billion is going to die either way, then and the victory chance is 40%, then of course I'm attacked.
Okay, so what if the billion get to survive then? Twist plot. Twist.
Then it's more difficult, because now it's like, okay.
Because that's not the main point here. You understand why I can do that? Because it's not the main point here. Those billion surviving, it's not the main point. Those billion knew what they were getting themselves into from the very start.
Yeah, I understand that they knew, but we also didn't know that almost nobody is going to be convinced. Like 10% is not enough.
But you understand, when you have this cause.
If you say 40%, if you say 40% is our odds, those are still pretty good odds.
Yes, I know. I gave you even good odds. Yes.
If 1 billion people survive, the question would be, okay, can we make even better odds in the future?
No is the answer. And this is comparing to the real world. Yeah, but you don't know that at the time. Yeah, you don't know that at the time. Yeah.
Okay, if I don't know that at the time, that means that potentially things are gonna have better odds.
They could get better. No, they could get better. They could get worse. You have more reasons to believe that it gets worse, not better.
Why would I think that it's gonna
because you have one power structure that has decided that it's been 100 years. They've been slowly expanding.
The whole government is against you. They now know they need to get rid of you. They will spend the entire rest of the history to eradicate you. Why would you in the future be more successful while now they have like this historical event?
And they're very strict about it now. Like,
because in this hypothetical, 1 billion people survive now, right?
Yes.
Okay,
but now the government wants all of those billion people dead.
Wait. Let me in. Tag me in. Okay, so the idea is, Boba, is that you have more reason to believe that you are not going to group up in 100 years from now, because guess what? You've dismantled those meetings you were having every single day, meeting up, planning for the future, planning, getting ready, doing all of these actions. Everybody's seeing the progress you're making. Everybody's seeing the actions you're taking. And so they continue to follow you. Now you've chosen to dismantle. So these people have no reason to believe that you are or any other people in the future are going to actually stand up to this in the future. They're going to go and they're going to integrate into society like everybody else. And in 100, 200, 300 years in the future, the government has only gotten stronger. So they've prepared now. They know we had that shit. We nearly fucked up that shit. Now we're prepared. You're not getting anywhere fucking close to this. So they crack down hard on the people. Now it's already too late. And then you've also got the people who once had an opportunity, they surrendered that opportunity, they integrated into society, and thus when like our rights were inflicted on in the future, it was already too late. That's why.
Okay, if I have all this information.
Well, you don't get that information though in real life. That's why you're not given it in the hypothetical. It's to see where your mindset is at. It's to understand your mindset. Yes.
Okay, if those things that you just mentioned are irrelevant, that they will not happen, then again, if I save the billion people right now and I keep them and we wait for a better opportunity where we're gonna have 70%.
Okay.
Look, listen. Wait. No, wait. Yeah, and no, not really, because he didn't say that I'm fucked if I wait.
Yeah, I literally said that though.
Okay, that's why I said if I have all that information, then sure, I'm gonna act.
Boba, you're trying to play the safe game and the smart game, but sometimes in life, you've done everything you could possibly do safe and strategically. There comes a time where when you are standing up to an oppressive force, you are required to take certain risks that are not especially integrated into strategy and logic. Okay, it comes to a certain point where it's like now it's time to use force. Now it's time to take action. It's not so much a power structure of the mind. We can strategize how we're going to move in and do all of that. But at the end of the day, we need to take real action now. We've done everything we possibly could. And guess what? The reason why those details about the future, that's the logic of why, if you value freedom above everything else, you would always choose Xen's choice. Always.
No.
Well, okay. Again,
in what world?
Okay, the idea is because when you dismantle, you've been building up for 600 years now, this group, my guy. You've been meeting every single week for 600 years. Now you're dismantling. People are going to integrate into society. Government gets stronger. It doesn't matter if the people get pissed off in the future about their morals being inflicted upon. It's already too late. There's only one power that rules the world. You don't get to know that though in the hypothetical, because like in real life, you wouldn't get to know that. You don't know these things. We're only using our logic, and anybody who's a logical could conclude that that's what's going to happen. Obviously, that's the reason why billions of you or a billion of you were gathered together, because you eventually saw a future where it's just a matter of time before the rights of the people get so hardly infringed on them that it comes a time where it's going to be detrimental to the human race. And so
let me explain then my thinking, how I looked at this. So my thinking was, because the government is going to take more and more freedoms, the people are going to get madder and madder. And let's say that, I'll just give some numbers.
But the government gets stronger and stronger, just minor detail.
Yeah, the government is getting stronger and stronger. They're taking more and more rights away from people.
No, not just rights, building up. Building equipment, weapons, building the military, putting fucking security cameras, installing things that they didn't have previously, making sure that they're prepared for the next time some dog shit ass revolution decides to creep up their fucking ass. Yeah. That's the problem. Okay, so but you should have like theorized. Anyway, I'll be right back in a second.
Okay. By the way, can you watch the video?
What video?
It's gone, I think. My point is like
I understand your point.
Yeah, you have one chance now, right? And you have no reason to think why that there would be a better chance ever in the future. So why not take this chance even if you risk?
There is a lot of reasons to think that there's a better chance, because if there isn't...
Name one. The government in the future will be looking back at this historical event, right? And they will have reason to believe that this will happen again. So for the entirety of the time that you are gone, they will be like putting all of their attention into preparing for this event. They will get military, they will get better weapons, they will advance their like technology and make deadlier shit. Like there's no reason to think why in the future somehow there will be more opportunities for us to destroy them.
Alright, so even if I changed your number of success, let's say that it's 1%, you would still do it?
Yes.
What you don't see? Is there any loss if you don't do it right now?
Yes. Meaning my chance is gone.
So you cannot foresee any future chance if you do not lose the billion people.
Sure, but that chance is way, way, way smaller than any other possible chance now.
What if the future chance? Let's say that if you do it right now, you have a billion people. The chance of success is 1%. But if you do it after 500 years, the chance of success is 2%. If you pull back these billion people, if you didn't pull back the billion people, it's 1% in the future.
Well, how do I say this? The thing is that there is no reason to believe why in the future there will be more chance instead of less.
Do you think that once a dictatorship is formed, it's there to stay forever?
No, but you can't just be like,
Yeah, but why not?
let's just wait till someone else does it.
Yeah, but somebody else will do it in the sense of the people are gonna be so unhappy that an overthrow is going to be happening guaranteed.
That's us. That's us right now.
It might be us, or it might be us in 50 years.
Okay, and us in 50 years will also be thinking it's us in 50 years, and those guys will also be thinking it's us in 50 years, and eventually it will be us never.
That's possible, but okay, if I knew that it's 40% chance, and if
I mean,
considering
why would us in 50 years have more chance than us now?
because in 50 years more people are going to be upset and see the truth
Why?
because they're gonna see that the government is
The
making them
government is
unhappy.
against us, right? They're
The
being
government
way
is
harsher
against
than before.
the government
They're
is
killing
against
us,
us.
right?
The government is against us, but the way that I understood it is the government is taking more and more freedoms for themselves that comes at the cost of the citizen. So logical
Yeah.
to assume the citizen is gonna be more and more upset.
What will the citizens do against this stronger government with a massive ass military?
You can organize again.
By the way, if you're so sure about that, then what does the billion people even matter? Like,
Well,
if you have this mindset of the people will rise up anyways, why not then take your chance now and then if we fail, we can say, well, we'll rise up anyways next
I
time.
mean, you would rise up regardless what the odds are because you don't see another opportunity popping up in the future. But I'm
Okay, so
saying
why not just try now and then if we
because I
fail, the
see
future people will.
because I see the people that we have right now on our side as a resource, and if I just waste it for some low odds, now he said that the odds are 40%. Those are really good odds. But if the odds would be some shit odds, then I
You
wouldn't
don't
waste
know
them.
the odds. You don't know.
Okay, we don't know what the odds of success are then. Um, I don't know because I don't like the issue is he said that with a billion people you can easily overthrow the government. So,
Yeah.
but to me it sounds like a billion people is like nothing.
Why? Think of it like this, right? Those 9 billion people aren't the government. They are, most of them don't give a singular fuck what
Okay, that's
happens.
true. Yeah, that's
So
true.
most of them are like NPCs in the background.
That's true.
It's not 1 billion versus 9 billion.
That's very true. Yeah, I did think about it this way. I thought that the government is going to propagandize the 9 billion. They're gonna eventually fight against us as military to stop us because the way that I understood it is the 9 billion are already on the side of the government.
I
So,
mean, they maybe are, but that doesn't mean that they are like going to join the fucking military and try to kill us. They just think we are like idiots and basically just they still go to work and go to fucking bed at night. Like they do their normal shit. They aren't in the military or in the fucking police.
okay, in that case, sure. If they would never be used like some opposition. But I thought that like if I think that that somebody's trying to overthrow the government, would I recruit those 9 billion, not obviously not all of them, but a portion of them to fight against these or even search for them because that was the argument made that your neighbors are looking for you.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
So in some sense, even though they're citizens, they are potentially somebody who could harm us.
Yeah,
That's
but
how I
not
look at
as
it.
much as like the actual fucking resistance fighters.
I mean, considering I don't know the odds, I don't know. It's an
It's
unknowable.
literally
It's
like a country's military versus like the civilians. It's like saying just because there's more Ukrainian civilians than fucking Russian soldiers, that now the Russian soldiers have no chance. That's not how it works. It's not like one fucking soldier is as strong as one civilian.
You're right. That is true.
Yeah. So you think that if
I
you
wouldn't.
just
I wouldn't under every circumstances attack.
yeah, but if you
But
if you know that
if
you
I
would
if
be
I
able to
was
feed those
convinced,
1 billion citizens, right?
if I
You will
theoretically,
stay at 1 billion, right? Why
uh,
would you have a better chance in the future if the government is just getting stronger? Like, they will maybe make other people mad, but you know, they're getting stronger and stronger, right?
yeah, but the way that I look at it is, if they're gonna get stronger and making people unhappy, then the resistance is going to happen anyway. And
What if that won't
You
happen? Like, what if
guys are
people
still going
keep
on.
being brainwashed and just listen?
You know what I just
what?
realized? You know what I just
What?
realized? Inappropriate was the one who won the last game.
No, no, fuck no,
He
no.
did. Did you know why? Because I
Yeah, no.
thought originally, what he said was like he intentionally like committed suicide or some shit. Like just he was trolling. But if he genuinely meant like, I'm like, what the fuck do I know what I'm supposed to do? It's just like I'm a random fucking shit. I don't even know anything. And then you just walk out into the water and step on the fucking sea urchin and die there and then. It's probably the most realistic fucking answer. Holy shit! I didn't realize that at the time.
Like,
Holy shit!
watch the video. Watch the video.
Watch video, bro.
One on your
Anyway,
screen right
you
now.
guys continue. Sorry, I interrupted. Yeah, go.
The one on your screen.
Yeah, watch your. Continue your conversation, bro. Oh, is this
No.
the?
There's not much
Watch
to
it
be
first.
said.
Watch
It's
it
like
first.
an all-in play, I guess. But I see a
It
potential
is.
in.
It is. Yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw a potential in not sacrificing these people and waiting for a better opportunity.
Yeah.
That's all.
It's fucked. It's fucked. I know what you mean. Like, if only like. Yeah, I get why you would think that, but the idea is that it's unfortunately it doesn't work that way. It's fucked. Because then, okay, can we 6 minutes to show me a fucking chart?
Just play the speed faster or skip through it a bit.
I am folk religionists. Wait, does this start? Where does this start? 1800s. Wait, population growth by religion. Yeah, Christians, let's go.
What religion do you think will be the biggest at the end?
Fuck you.
Probably Muslims.
Yes.
Obviously.
WW.
No, it's not W. That doesn't by
Yes.
default make you better.
No, but it's good though. It's good.
Yeah, it doesn't make
No,
it better,
it's not
but it is
good.
It's
definitely
an
a good
advantage
start.
for us. It's an advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is an advantage, but not. It won't always be the winning
I mean, this is an
advantage.
example. At what point do the Muslims
Yeah, yes. Why do you think I gave the fucking hypothetical?
What do you mean
Right.
attack? Attack who?
Why do you think I gave the hypothetical? It was based on that. Yeah, I was thinking when I went outside to smoke, what hypothetical can I give these motherfuckers in order to make them challenge each other, not just one another, but each other? What the fuck is this? Unaffiliated? Oh, is this?
Atheists.
These are atheists. Let's
Or
go.
like they just agnostic, atheist, whatever. They don't affiliate with any religion. So like
Yeah,
they
yeah,
don't
yeah, yeah.
necessarily deny God. They just don't have a religion.
Yeah, I get it.
So what's weird is that as the atheists grow, the Christians don't because the human numbers.
Oh no, now is when the Christians rise. Yeah, this is the 1980s. This is the boom. You can see on the chart here what it's like. But you can also see the Muslims catching up.
Now we're going.
Motherfuckers. Yeah, that dip was not good. Yeah, Muslims are. Oh, everybody's pretty much leveling off. But no, the Muslims are going to catch up. So they're playing it to you for in the future. Yeah.
This is the plan. Yeah, this is the plan.
The plan?
Yeah.
Wait, were you here last night?
No?
You weren't. Yeah, we had beef. Look at them. Look, wow.
Don't let the streams cross.
Almost.
No, they already passed. What do you mean almost? Oh shit, you guys have lag. Yeah.
Yes, bro. 2070, bro.
I think it's gonna happen sooner than that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think these guys are
this isn't
accounting.
really taking into account like conversions, right?
This is not taking into account
I
blue
think it's
pill,
like only the birth rates.
blue pilled cocks, right, Xen?
Yeah, not the blue. Yeah.
Yeah. Good thing we have all of those blue-haired cucks.
But what was the beef
Take
about
him.
last night?
You take him.
Holy shit.